Oh boy. Um, France's entry for Eurovision 2020. Yeah, I just wanted to basically express how disappointed I was in the lost potential that they had. First of all, getting rid of Destination Eurovision, which was their national selection competition that they've had for the last few years, to go back to an internal selection. I didn't think was a smart move. I think Destination Eurovision, I mean, there were so many acts competing in it. It was like Melfest. It was this huge, great showcase of talent. And I think in recent years, they really did showcase some great songs. I mean, Merci, which was the Madame Monsieur song, was like such a huge fan favorite of mine from 2018. I really wanted that song to win, even though I kind of knew it wasn't going to. It was just a song I really got behind. Last year with Raw by Bilal, I was a little more on the fence. I really liked Bilal as a person and as a performer. I thought he was pretty decent. However, I did feel the song was more middling and not quite something I was really thinking would do that well. And so, I mean, as far as the big five countries go, France didn't do horribly last year, compared to Germany and the UK, which are traditionally at the bottom. I think France might be the one who's finally taking that bottom spot this year because honestly, I don't see, like I said, unfortunately, this song automatically qualifies. Really doesn't deserve to, though. The Best in Me by Tom Leeb. It's Leb, apparently, not Lieb. This is a song that was, like I said, plucked in from this artist and internally, and then they gave him this song, which was co-written by Jan Lundvik, who is a Swedish heavyweight songwriter. He also co-wrote last year's UK song, Bigger Than Us, which I actually really liked. I was one of the rare people who actually really liked that song, despite agreeing that it was pretty bland and very safe and old fashioned. It still had such an energy and a crowd pleasing energy behind it that I really thought could have served it a lot better than it did. And so I'm pretty upset that the song didn't soar like it should have. Not to mention Michael Rice's vocals were just excellent. But instead, we get quite more of a bland. It still sounds like a Jan Lundvik song. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you can hear his songwriting in there. It reminds me of Too Late for Love from his entry last year for Sweden, but it's much more, low key, mid tempo, almost, down tempo in ways. And it's very safe. Tom Leeb has beautiful vocals. I mean, he's definitely a little bit more acoustically gifted, I think, in terms of he's really good at the guitar. I've heard some of his like, cover songs that are just like, some of his more, I don't want to say he's like in a kind of country folk lane, but he sort of seems like he's suited for that. He doesn't necessarily seem like, even though he's a pretty boy, like he's this huge pop performer. And he also seems like he's this humble kind of, quieter guy. I don't know too much. Apparently he's also a comedian, so he has a funny side to him. But, at the same time, he's understated. So this song comes off very mellow, and it is emotional, but it's quite saccharine. And like I said, I mean, I think just even knowing that this song was, sort of concocted rather than, I think, personally created by like one artist, it was sort of concocted by all these songwriters to try and be this generic Eurovision ballad, really actually makes this song feel just more vanilla and more bland. Tom talks about how meaningful this song is for him, singing about how someone else is the best, brings out the best in you. It's a very Disney romantic, I'm realizing my faults and that I need to be better for you kind of moment where, the prince is sort of enamored by his love interest and is realizing, she improves in his life so much. And there's the self-reflection and then there's this, slight edge of reconciling with past issues and things. There's like some depth to the song, I do want to say, but I think the vocal dynamics, the melody construction, it's all very safe. There's not a whole lot of soaring on this song, let's just put it that way. There's not really ever a moment where he breaks through. I feel like I said, I mean, it's almost better suited for an acoustic moment, but this isn't necessarily an acoustic song. You know, it's a sweeping orchestral ballad. And, you know, I just wish that he rose above it more. But that's, of course, the song not taking him there. The notes just don't really go anywhere, in my opinion. I mean, the chorus, "You are the best in me," it's very familiar sounding, and I don't like I said, I just don't feel any sort of uniqueness to this song. I mean, it feels like almost anyone could have sung it, and, this is you know, a Franglish song, so we do get French English combined in the lyrics, so we do get the French, in there, which is important because, you know, France often does sing in France at Eurovision in French at Eurovision, which is really great, you know, because I think that, like I said, it just doesn't all have to be in English, you know? But so that's the one thing I'm so glad of. I'm very glad that they do keep that. There's a bit of, yeah, like I said, a growing feeling of each chorus getting more, you know, amped up and hyped. But by the time it gets there, it's too late. I don't really think that the song, as like I said, it just doesn't lift off when it needs to. And then the verses, sweet enough. It's a sweet song, and I don't know, maybe it will have appeal. Eurovision is questionable. Some of the songs that are really successful. So far, I'm not seeing a lot of love for this song, so I don't think Eurofans are behind it. But you know, the general audiences, you know, young and old, maybe older people will really like it. Um, and of course, I mean, he is the kind of guy. I mean, just look at him that can sell you almost anything. I mean, he's so handsome. He's so, you know, well styled, I think, for the most part. You know, the performance on the Eiffel Tower, maybe the styling could have been a little stronger, but he's so good looking, he sells anything he's wearing. And I mean, on stage, I'm sure he's gonna melt hearts. So it's hard to separate, you know, his looks from the actual song. But, you know, I hate to say it, but if he didn't look as good as he does, this song would appear a lot more naked. And I think we would see a lot more of just how much this song's shortfalls are really apparent. So yeah, I didn't want to be so unjustly hard on it because believe it or not, there's another song that was just released that I actually like worse than this one for Belgium, which I'll talk about in my Belgium review. But this song is just super, super safe and very old fashioned and not something that is going to, you know, stand out beyond Eurovision. It's not a song that is going to cross over. And it's not a song that I think is going to get it onto the left hand side of the scoreboard at the final. I'm just being honest. It's just the way it is. France did it to themselves by getting rid of Destination Eurovision. Let me know in the comments what you think of this track. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are there some people who actually really like this song? Because I'm not really seeing anyone genuinely really thinking this is a real contender here. But you know, is it the absolute worst thing I've ever heard for Eurovision? No. No, I just think the standards are much higher, and I think Bigger Than Us, if we were going to go that safe, bland route, although I understand why it came in the bottom last year, I'm still not that pleased by that. Bigger Than Us could have really sold something, and it wasn't all just about looks. You know, it was really about vocals. And I don't think Tom Leeb is really trying or was the artist to belt like that or do the runs like Michael Rice could. So the song is obviously a lot safer for him. It's an easier song to sing. You know, it's not as complicated of a song. There aren't so many, you know, key change vocal runs and dynamics, and I'm not, you know, surprised by that. But I just think that France really sold themselves short, and they came into it just not really putting many cards on the table, or the cards they put on the table were just very, very safe. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Like I said, do not think this song is going to do that well at the final, and it's a pity. It's a real pity, but he's a good-looking guy and sweet enough, and it's innocent enough of a song and harmless enough of a song that it's not like something I necessarily want to turn off when it's on, but it's pretty boring. So that is what it is. Let me know in the comments what you think. And remember, it's just my opinion. So c'est la vie. But hopefully they learn from their mistakes. Anyway, Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed day. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed and subscribe for more Eurovision content and music review content in general from this channel if you're new. And I will see you all in my next video. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace, love, and light. Bye.